It's got a mouth opening and everything.
What do you see in the sky?
I don't know. We're painting
I like
pictures.
It. We really are. I mean, look, man, nothing makes for a great sunrise or a sunset when you got a few clouds out there. It just kind of magnifies everything. Looks great. And we've had a lot of these great sunrises in South Louisiana over the last number of mornings. And the last number of mornings, they've been accompanied by some cool temperatures.
That's it. Steve, we're lucky to call this place home, and we've been waking up to so many gorgeous pictures. Do you make out anything in the clouds this morning?
I see some sun, some shades of orange. I got to get a better look at it, Liz. I appreciate your imagination, though, and it's always pretty neat when you step outside to see what all we could see, right? So the one thing we're all enjoying is a little taste of fall. This is a look at low temperatures this morning near north of the interstates, low to mid 60s, mid to upper 60s south of I-10. Still nice, not quite as cool as it's been the last couple of mornings. Currently in Baton Rouge, 66, so still low to mid 60s north of the interstate. You'll note New Iberia already at 70. While it's still very nice outside, I want you to note the trend. It is slightly warmer. Baton Rouge 4 degrees warmer than we were at this time yesterday morning. New Roads 3. That is a trend that will continue over the next few mornings. All right, let's take a look and see what we see there. Yeah, I kind of see, now I kind of make out a little bit of what Liz is seeing with the dinosaur there behind the building. So a beautiful sunrise happening over the capital city. It's our Skyline view brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake. Temperature is going to warm up pretty quickly after this nice start. Upper 80s at noon, highs low to mid 90s, mostly sunny, and we'll keep it dry. So right now, it's just not much headed our way. There's actually a weak front that extends from Oklahoma down into the Gulf of Mexico, an old boundary there. But most of the rain focused up to our north, and really looks like over the next several days, not expecting to see much. Let's update you on the tropics. Still busy in the Atlantic, still nothing for us to really worry about. This is Hurricane Nigel, large hurricane out there, now Category 2. Tropical wave has now emerged from Africa. I've been telling you about that one for days, and we're going to be watching here where we think low pressure will develop east of Florida. Here's a closer look at Nigel. That is Bermuda, so moving well east of Bermuda. Nigel will stay over the open Atlantic. The Hurricane Center holding steady with a 70% chance of development with the wave coming off Africa. Plenty of time to track that. And off the southeastern U.S. coast, the 30% chance. Low pressure we think will develop. The question is, will it get any tropical characteristics? That's why development odds aren't higher. Bottom line is, though, it's going to move into the eastern states. At minimum, it'll be a rainmaker, but not going to impact our part of the world. Here at home, a couple of changes. Number one, humidity is going to start climbing in the days ahead, and what that means is our mornings won't be as nice, starting out at 70 or above beginning tomorrow. The afternoon temps still low to mid 90s, not really a change, but increased humidity makes it feel a bit worse. Only small rain chances, 10 to 20% Thursday through Sunday. A little better rain chance Monday and Tuesday, 30 to 40%, but after that, back to a mainly dry pattern and temperatures staying above normal. It looks like right on through the duration of our 10-day outlook. Time now, 7:06. Let's get an update on the roads. Here's more with John.
And looking at those cloud formations, you are all wrong. My goodness, look at that. 3 eggs over easy, bacon real crisp, corn grits, toast, jelly, fresh coffee. Ooh, that's what I see. All right, let's go down to the Gonzales area and kind of look at things around here. This is Airline Highway, I-10 near the Highland Road area. That's where we see some of our traffic this morning, and that's not unusual for this time of morning. Kind of slowly move up toward the Denham Springs area. Livingston to Baton Rouge is always the parishes that we are affected most with morning drive rush hour traffic, and indeed that is the case this morning. Here's Jubin Crossing right there, and you can see I-12 westbound traffic backing up before Jubin Crossing, and that's looking toward Walker right there with the Jubin camera, and again looking toward Baton Rouge, moving but real slowly. In fact, some areas of that moving as slow as 30, 25 miles per hour, and you can see most of that backup is from Jubin to the Millerville Road area. Then it thins out just a little bit. 7:07, it is our 9 News this morning, continuing with a little short condensed version of some of the more important features we gave you this morning on 9 News this morning. We do that from Studio B with Liz Coe and Matt Williams.
Johnny, thank you. Let's start here in New York, where the United Nations leaders are all meeting for day 2. Today's focus still on climate, but labor rights, as President Biden set to meet with Brazil's president.
So there's a lot of conversations going on. You have 150 world leaders in New York City to talk with the General Assembly. Yesterday you had a lot of conversations surrounding Ukraine and trying to drum up support for Ukraine, the war there in Russia. But to your point, it says it right here, talks about climate issues may take center stage, and that continues to be one of the conversations impacting a lot of, obviously, look, man, this is, when you talk about climate change, this is a global conversation. So what happens today when you try to talk to all these other countries in reducing and pulling back on fossil fuels? Big conversations at the UN.
Specifically today, they're talking about deforestation of the Amazon here. President Biden tasked with asking Congress for a lot more money, about $500 million to help those efforts. On top of that, worker protection rights for people working in Brazil. We'll see what comes out of those talks today.
These conversations, a lot of them have. Okay, so our conversation is happening here. The Federal Reserve set to meet beginning today. It's a two-day meeting beginning today. Will they decide not to raise interest rates? I think the rest of the country kind of looking at it going, please.
Economists are thinking that that might be the case, but we still have to wait and see what comes out of the meeting here. That's not to say that that won't happen again later on this year, right? It takes time to see the impact of these raises here. So we'll see what the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, and the crew has to decide and how that might impact you.
I mean, you're going to get that alert right to your phone sometime this morning. Okay, this is actually, let's get you back into South Louisiana specifically. EBR, the school bus issues there. We've talked a lot about that.
Yeah.
Is Ascension Parish having the same kind of issues?
Unfortunately, last night after the school board meeting, well, the board actually voted to put AC units on school buses. This is something that drivers had been pushing for quite some time now. Well, this morning, it turns out there's a possible strike out here. They got wind of this last night, letting parents know you may be responsible for either dropping your kid off and picking them up today. Your kid might be doing virtual class, just depending on where your kid goes. But this Wednesday kind of after effect, we're kind of seeing this pitfall of what parents and students are going to do.
It's so, you know, they are giving parents a little bit of a grace period. They got that 1 hour grace period. It's like a tardy, 1 hour tardy okay time to get to school this morning if you are dropping off. And then you'd have to pick up, of course. To Liz's point, virtual option going to be there depending on the age, the grade, the class. They could be running some extra routes in the back end to pick up anybody left behind. At this point, it is up to the parents, hopefully in the schools, to be able to communicate, look for an alert or an update from your school. But we'll see if this is going to be the only day or if something manifests going forward as well. Big conversations.
We certainly will follow them. Hey, heads up. Obviously, we have an election coming up, right?
We do.
In some parishes, we're talking about a new parish president and a new sheriff. So let's take you to West Baton Rouge, where tonight there's kind of going to be a forum for you to hear from the two different candidates going for your vote for West Baton Rouge Parish President.
6 o'clock this evening, Councilwoman Clarice Lacey actually going to be hosting this. And to your point, Liz, today it's going to be for those vying to be the next parish president. And then tomorrow it is going to be those looking to put on the badge as the next sheriff there in West Baton Rouge. If you want to see a little bit more about it, want to learn about, again, the time and the places, everything involved, find this story. It's WAFB.com and, of course, your 9 News app. Ooh, eyes on this.
We need your eyes alert for this man here. This is 27-year-old Brendan Highsmith. Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office says that this man has been missing from the Jubin Palms area. That's kind of in Denham Springs. So he's got a specific description of what he was last wearing. But, Matt, we're hoping people can find him. His family's really worried about his mental health and what he needs here.
About 6 foot. A little more than 230, 240 pounds. Some distinguishing features that may grab your attention as well. Make the phone call. They give out specific sometimes numbers to departments and districts, that kind of thing. Just make a phone call to the ones you know from 911 if you recognize, if you see them, that kind of thing. Even Crime Stoppers number. No crime thought here, but the information can get to where it needs to be with those numbers you know so well.
That's it. Heads
oh my
up.
gosh,
yeah, let's keep you in Livingston. So this morning, just know 100% containment in this wildfire. I believe it's off of Arnold Road there in Denham Springs. Yes, so just know there is 100% containment there, but firefighters still keeping an eye on it in case any of those hot spots reignite this morning. But just know that this was the big story yesterday we were tracking in the afternoon.
And the reason we tell you this today, not just to let you know that everything is contained, is to, of course, remind you there's a burn ban in place in Louisiana, all across Louisiana, and this was begun because they say somebody was baling hay and it got caught up in the machine that sparked the fire.
That's how quick.
They're asking folks not to do that right now, bale that hay in that certain way. So please just pay attention to all that as that burn ban remains in effect.
Heads up
okay.
here.
Yeah.
So we've been talking a lot about COVID vaccines as we talk about the trifecta viruses, COVID, RSV, the flu.
Yeah.
If you want to protect yourself, well, there is that newly updated COVID virus, COVID vaccine that's come out to better protect against new strains that are coming out, right? So this is now available at pharmacies across Louisiana. LDH has made it really easy to access a database for you to find where you can get one closest to you.
It's very simple. It's kind of what they had in place back in the day with OG, COVID vaccines, all that stuff. Log on right here, find the story. It's waiting for you. You can punch in everything that you need.
Yes.
Click here, click here, click here to find out that closest opportunity for a vaccine. Want to bring your attention to the Bluff right now. Something going on that may interest those looking for a job after graduation.
If you are a student at SU, just know there is a fall career fair actually happening today. It's happening from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the F.G. Clark Activity Center. So no matter what your major is, or let's say you're studying something but you don't want a career in that specific major, you can go and find a job there today. There's going to be hundreds of different employers out there. Bring your resume, come dressed for success. Maybe kickstart a career that you might not think that you were interested in.
You know what a great career would be? Winning the Powerball. 672 tonight.
Big time.
Big time.
Cash value is $302 million. Guys, this is still a lot of money we're talking about here. $320 million?
Yeah, big money might help Johnny kind of fix. Johnny, we got questions. How do you end up with
Johnny's
dents
car?
on the top of your truck? That's your truck there at the bottom right.
Dents on the top of my truck.
What'd you do?
Who did that?
I stood there.
I was about to say, I bet this is you standing
I
on it.
stood on the truck to change the light bulb in my garage. And it's not as firm as the old trucks used to be in the 60s. So there you go. Well, thanks for pointing that out, Stephen.
That's so good.
Look, we'll see you in 10 minutes.
The winning play is the Buy Here, Sell Here event at the Team Automotive Group. Buy here and save on hundreds of certified and pre-owned vehicles. Or sell here and we'll pay you top value. Buy here or sell here and you'll be the winner at every location of the Team Automotive Group.